I'm going to call Renewal Agency Board meeting, and it's at 9:13, and present I'll just ask the city recorder to call roll.
Councillor Gustafson? Here. Council President Rupi?
Here.
Councillor Martinez? Here. Councillor Marshall?
Here.
Councillor Valenzuela? Here.
Thank you. Public.
Sorry, we've got Ewing on.
waiting
Should
for
just give
one.
a second.
Oh, okay, we're waiting for Director Ewing, okay.
Counselor now. There she is.
Well, this is Urban Renewal Agency.
We're finishing
still
roll call.
directors. Oh.
Director Ewing.
We're directors tonight, right now. So,
Says she's here.
okay, Director Ewing is here. So this public comment period is provided for anyone wishing to speak to the URA board on an item not on the agenda or on the agenda but not scheduled for a public hearing. Comments are limited to 2 minutes unless additional time is granted by the presiding officer. The public comment period will not exceed 30 minutes unless a majority of directors present vote to extend the time. Zoom attendees may use the raise hand option to be called. And as far as I can tell, there are no one signed up to provide public comment, either in the audience or online. Moving on to item C, the consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be adopted with a single motion without separate discussion. Committee members who wish to remove an item from the consent agenda may do so prior to the motion. Any item or items removed will be discussed and acted upon following the approval of the remaining item or items. There is one item on the consent agenda. What is the wish of the council or the board?
I move to approve the consent agenda. I second.
So the approval of the consent agenda was moved by Director Gustafson and seconded by Director Valenzuela. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, what is the wish of the board?
So moved.
It's been moved, but is everybody agreeing to the consent agenda?
Yes. Didn't know what to say.
Okay,
Yes.
so everybody's agreed to the consent agenda. Are there any additions or deletions?
There are two additions. URA Resolution number 2024-06. That's a resolution authorizing the purchase of property located at 1911-1923 Pacific Avenue and authorizing the executive director or designee to complete purchase of the property. There's another addition, URA Resolution number 2024-07. That's a resolution authorizing the purchase of property located at 2024 19th Avenue and authorizing the executive director or designee to complete the purchase of the property.
Okay, so those additions will be listed under item F 2 and 3. Next, the presentation. I guess I should ask, are there any additions or deletions from the director? Seeing none or hearing none, the next item is presentations. Are there any presentations? No presentations. We'll move on to item F, which is public hearings and resolutions. The first item is URA Resolution 2024-05. Is there any staff report on that? The first one, 05.
Is for what folder the other?
This.
This is the indebtedness for the
Indebtedness.
project.
Oh, that one. I forgot about that one. Okay, sure. What this is we're asking the URA board to authorize indebtedness for the projects described in the urban renewal plan and authorizing staff to complete the debt borrowing. The URA has a total of $15 million of maximum indebtedness. We've already spent about 2 of that. And what we're looking at doing is borrowing up to $4,250,000 from the URA area to finance projects described in the urban renewal plan for the area and also for the specific projects. So what we're asking is, to, like I said, to borrow $4.25 million. The amount, it could be less. It's going to depend on the banks and how much the banks come back, what interest rates the bank comes back with, what debt service reserve the bank comes back with, and how much that allows us to borrow. We're fairly confident it'll be at least $3.8 million of total borrowings, and then there are some costs and probably a debt reserve that we're going to have to set aside. But we're going to try to borrow a little bit more than that if we can, because that'll help us to get the building without using some of our urban renewal cash. The properties we're going to talk about in a minute. The borrowings are secured solely by the tax incentive revenues, i.e. the property taxes that the urban renewal is collecting. They're not secured in the lease by the properties because we don't want any liens or any attachments to the properties that we're going to buy. That way, when we go to develop them, we don't have the issue of any liens on the properties. So only thing securing this is property tax. This is the property taxes the urban renewal collects. Currently, the urban renewal collects more property tax revenue than what we're estimating the debt service will be at its current level. So we're not depending on future growth to help pay the debt service. We have enough funds currently annually to cover the annual debt service. So what you're going to authorize is staff to complete the negotiation, execute and deliver the borrowing, and go through the processes. It's also appointing Hawkins, Delafield, and Wood as our bond counsel. They've been our bond counsel for several decades, but this appoints them as a bond counsel for the specific transaction. What they do is they issue an opinion on the taxability of the bonds. The bonds will be taxable for federal purposes, but they will be tax exempt for state purchases. And that's just due to the what we're going to be using the bonds for, and the type of buildings we're going to purchase, and ultimately what that property is going to be used for, since it's going to be for investment purposes. So that's this resolution. That, like I said, it authorizes us to incur the indebtedness and to complete the borrowing. So I'll take any questions the board may have.
Are there any questions for staff? Seeing none. What is the wish of the board?
I'd like to approve URA Resolution 2024-5.
It's been moved by Director Gustafson. Is there a second? And it's been seconded by Director Marshall. Is there any discussion? And since this involves money, can the city recorder please call a roll vote?
Director Gustafson?
Yes.
Director Martinez?
Yes.
Director Marshall?
Yes.
Director Valenzuela?
Yes.
Director Ewing?
Yes.
Chair Rippey?
Yes. So the resolution 2024-05 has been approved. Sorry.
Please finish, and then I just had one comment. So
Okay, has been approved by the board of directors 6-0.
just one last thing, I do need to read it by title only. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, no worries.
There you go.
So
It's not in my script.
yeah, sorry. URA Resolution 2024-05, authorizing indebtedness for projects described in the Urban Renewal Plan.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item F2. It deals with URA Resolution 2024-06. There a staff report.
Okay, 2024-06 that is for, I'll wait till the share comes up. URA is looking at purchasing 2 properties. This resolution is for the first property we're looking at. We're looking at purchasing a property owned by Fratelli Holdings, LLC. It's located at 1911 through 1923 Pacific Avenue, consisting of approximately 15,616 square feet, more commonly known as the Theater Building and the related buildings down to Pac Thai. And what the purpose, the URA will look at this project for future development. Not saying we're going to, not meaning tearing it down, we're not saying that, but just to redevelop the property that's there. We've come to agreement on the price of the property. We've agreed on a purchase price of $1,327,360 plus closing costs, and this is within the total budget that the URA board has set for the purchase of the property. So, and I'll take what we're asking tonight is for you to authorize the purchase of the property and for the executive director or designee to complete the purchase of the property. So I'll take any questions the board may have.
Any clarifying questions of the staff? Seeing none, hearing none. What is the wish of the board? Director Gustafson? Oh, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a possible perceived bias. I'm friends with two of the owners of this company. So I'm not sure, do I need to recuse myself on this vote?
Yeah. Do you have any financial interest
I
whatsoever
do
in the
not have
property?
any financial
Then you
interest.
don't have to recuse
Okay.
yourself. You've done what you need to do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. What's the wish of the board?
We move forward. I'm
So
so moved.
Director Martinez is making the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Director Marshall has seconded the motion to approve. Is there any discussion? Would the city manager please read this resolution by title only?
Urban Renewal Agency Resolution Number 2024-06, resolution authorizing the purchase of property located at 1911-1923 Pacific Avenue and authorizing the executive director or designee to complete the purchase of the property.
Thank you. Would the city recorder please ask for a roll call vote?
Director Martinez,
Yes.
Director Marshall,
Yes.
Director Valenzuela,
Yes.
Director Ewing,
Yes.
Director Gustafson,
Yes.
Chair Rippey.
Yes. Resolution URA Resolution 2024-06 has been approved unanimously by the board. The next item on the agenda is URA Resolution 2024-07. City Assistant Manager, please.
This is a resolution for purchase of another piece of property located at 2024 19th Avenue. It's approximately 1.1 acres. It's essentially the lot, the undeveloped lot that has two warehouse buildings across the street from the city parking lot. Is Woodfall Manufacturing owns it. We've come to agreement on a sales price with Woodfall Manufacturing. We've agreed to purchase that property for $2.1 million plus closing costs and other acquisition costs. And what we're asking the board to do tonight is to approve the purchase of the property and authorize the executive director or the designee to complete the purchase of the property. And this property is also, this and the other property are still within the total budget that you've set for acquisition of property. I'll take any questions the board may have.
Any questions? Seeing no questions, what is the wish of the board?
I move to approve URA Resolution Number 2024-07.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so the resolution has been moved by Director Gustafson, seconded by Director Martinez. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, will the city manager please read this by title only?
Urban Renewal Agency Resolution Number 2024-07, resolution authorizing the purchase of property located at 2024 19th Avenue and authorizing the executive director or designee to complete the purchase of the property.
Would the city recorder do a roll call vote?
Director Marshall,
Yes.
Director Valenzuela,
Yes.
Director Ewing,
Yes.
Director Gustafson,
Yes.
Director Martinez,
Yes.
Chair Rippey.
Yes. So resolution 2024-07 has been passed unanimously by the URA Board of Directors. And that concludes our business. This meeting of the URA Board is adjourned.